for a very special day. This is a very special time. Show me a hill I can climb. Give me a mountain to move, and I'll prove that it's a very special day. I woke up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day. Up early this morning with gloom on my head. Had a big feeling to climb back in bed. Then I looked in the mirror and somebody said, wake up, wake up. It's time for you to lose the blues, and this is a very special treat. Tell it to everyone you meet, that life is all for living and love is all for giving. So this is a very special day. Tell it to everyone along the way that this is a very special day.
A very special day it is. It is a finally fantastic, maybe just a little freaky Friday, or a Friday for football, and that means we have Holly Thompson in the house with us. Good morning, Holly.
Good morning.
And in the hot seat this morning, this is a paid political program. We have our own Roger Pennington, who's put his name in the hat. Good morning, Roger.
Good morning, Becky.
And
morning.
glad to have you with us. Happy Friday, right?
I'm glad it's here.
Yeah.
One day closer to election.
Yeah, getting there. Yeah, next week. No pressure. Less than a week.
Wow. Wow.
Hopefully, this is a good time for me to segue into public service announcements. Remember, they will have early voting going on from 8 to noon today, and then they'll take their lunch, which everybody deserves a lunch hour. So the clerk's office then will be back open from 1 to 4, and early voting ends on November the 6th. And they also want to remind everybody, get out and vote on Election Day, too. So
be patient with our servant leadership teams, right?
Yes, and well, we're going to get into that, because I got a lot to say. Oh, I got a lot to say, okay? We're going to order pizza. We'll be here all day long, okay? Anyway, so early voting has started. Our clerk's office, I want to give them a shout out. Stephanie Rocky and her whole team, they are wonderful. Mm-hmm. And here's the thing, they're so good, they make it look easy. We don't realize what all goes on. I mean, there's like so much that goes on behind this, getting an election ready, getting all the ballots ready, making sure you have enough, but not buying too many, and then making sure the machines, the poll workers are all there, and everybody's, you know what I mean? And it just goes off so smooth that we're
seamlessly.
Like, yeah, it looks like a walk in the park, but it's not. It's
no.
It's a marathon. It's a what do you call it? A relay, like passing the baton.
And this time of year is incredibly crazy in our office because obviously, we have a city election, and her staff does an amazing job out there. I don't think they get enough credit.
I agree.
That's a very big job to be in charge of.
No, absolutely, yeah. And then not to mention they're getting ready for the election, but everyday things they're still doing.
Yeah, they have normal activities that they have to perform every day. So you throw the election on top of it.
Yeah.
We see what they're made of. They always seem to pull together, and it works out great.
Yeah, I don't think they get any sleep on election day.
I
always think that after that Wednesday they just have to just drop.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the name of the game, and that's part of it. But they're like athletes, so they've trained for this. They're ready for this. You know what I mean? They're ready for the production. It's getting ready to happen. So the big dance. All right, Holly, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We would like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Fox Pearly Wealth Management, Fantastic Sam's, Leader One Financial, and Dr. Black's Eye Associates and Dr. Mindy Gunn. Thank you, sponsors.
All right, absolutely. Very thankful for our sponsors. Roger, we know that Halloween's already over this week, but what is your favorite candy? It's always fun to hear what everybody's favorite candy was.
Spree.
Oh, wow, that's
what?
a good one.
That's a throwback.
I know, but who? I've not heard anybody say that one. That's hilarious.
The hard ones or the chewy ones?
I don't like the chewy.
I like the
the
chewy
original.
ones.
I like the chewy.
But I like chewy sweet tarts too.
Oh,
the big wafer ones.
Oh, me too, Holly.
Yes.
Why have we not experimented with those? Why have we not had those together?
I know.
Those are like if you're on like a road trip and you just start. And I'm real weird the way I eat it.
Yeah.
I'm like a predator. I only eat a little bit, then I get to that middle part.
Like me eating a Snickers candy bar. You start with the outside and work your way in.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, Spree is difficult to only consume one.
You are right.
Oh,
If you open the long roll that they used to come in.
Yeah.
Once you have the first, you're pretty much going to finish the whole package.
That is so funny. I am so glad I asked that because now every time I think I'll be the Spree. Yeah, that's a new one. No one has said that this whole time. You know what I mean? So there's probably all kinds of Spree over there discounted. Someone grabbed all the peanut. I'm the peanut M&M girl, I'm thankful they did because it would have been horrible if I would have over there and bought, But anyway, somebody in this community loves them too. So I just want to go to their house and, eat some with them. So whoever you are, whoever grabbed all those bags, invite me over. Share. Yeah.
Sharing is caring.
Caring. There we go. That's right. All right, we're on to the 3rd day of November. Today is Fountain Pen Day. Roger, do you ever write with a fountain pen?
All the time. I like to write. I'm kind of an old school person. I like to write letters and notes instead of typing. I think it's more personal.
Yeah. That's a thing that we've got away from. And I think it's sad because there's nothing like getting a letter or getting a note or something, right?
Yeah, when I was fire chief, I kind of made a habit of once every couple of weeks just picking out somebody in the community that had done something or needed maybe a pick-me-up and would just write a short handwritten note to those people, and you would not believe the positive feedback and the difference that makes in people's lives. Just receiving a handwritten note, even if it's 3 or 4 sentences.
I agree.
It really means a lot to people.
Yeah. Holly, what about you?
I have a fountain pen that I got when I graduated with my master's degree from my stepdad.
Oh.
And I still use it, still love it. There's something about a fountain pen.
Just something about it.
There is.
All right, so Fountain Pen Day. Give someone $1 today. Okay, give it just $1.
Just $1.
Yeah. Love Your Lawyer Day. Okay.
That can be good or bad.
I know. I was going to say, the lawyer gets a day. Like, I've been trying to get a Wslm day for years, right?
Right.
And the lawyers get a day.
And they bring you M&Ms.
I know. That we would all celebrate. That's exactly.
They can all pull the dollars,
That's right.
dollar day, and give you M&Ms.
M&Ms, peanut M&Ms. Yes,
peanut M&Ms.
Yeah. Love Your Lawyer Day. National Housewife. Hats off. I think they've had that, but you know what? I'm all about it.
And house husbands. No, let's not forget them. I know it's Housewives Day.
No, you're right.
House husbands are just as important.
And they can rock it.
Yes, they
I'm
can.
all for men. And Roger, you're kind of on one of those that, like, you really keep, like, order, don't you? Like, if I remember right? Kind of.
I'm kind
very
of
organized. Yeah.
I'm kind of a neat freak.
I bet the studio's like rocking your world.
No, this is...
He's going into therapy after he leaves.
No, I enjoy every time I come here. I enjoy this is walking back into time, and this is tradition and history, and this is a very
You're being very kind. I appreciate that.
I always enjoy coming
Thank
here.
you. I appreciate
I
it.
like how you see something different every time.
Yeah.
Like it always.
I was like every Friday I see something different, and I don't add anything. It's just
I'm like looking around, and she'll be like, hey, looking at me like, hey, Holly, come on, let's get back on the radio.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what else can I see today?
It's a game we play.
It is. We're like, Where's Waldo, or the I Spy. The I Spy game, is that it? Where you can Spy? Yeah,
that's hilarious. That's funny. That's funny. Well, no, I think that's great. No, and I love that because I think men, we've talked about this week a lot. I think men can do such a great job. It was actually men cooked dinner the other day, and I thought men can really do some good cooking. They can do cleaning. You know what I mean? And a lot of times, here's what I think we all have to remember. and spouses, everybody does things different. It doesn't mean it's right or wrong, but it's just the way they do it. And I say let them have the freedom to do, you know. And hats off to housewives or like you said, husbands that do that, because you talk about a job.
Oh my gosh.
It's never ending. I think, don't we all work harder at home sometimes, you know?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whew, you know? Yeah. All right, National Jersey Friday. We should have wore a favorite jersey. Okay, all right. What would be your favorite jersey you'd be wearing?
Ken Stabler, Oakland Raiders.
Oh, wow. Again, like your sprees. Didn't see that one coming.
Didn't see that one coming.
Yeah.
I really laid awake last night thinking about
Thinking about-
questions that you were going to
Yeah,
ask.
you really,
Candy and
yeah.
jerseys.
I'm telling you, I like this. You're thinking out of the box over here. Yeah, completely. Yeah, what about you, Holly?
I don't know. I have a jersey, but it's like a camping jersey.
Okay.
But I'm all about Bob Knight this week.
Oh my
I'm all about
goodness.
so
Yeah.
anything
Yeah.
IU Bob Knight related would be my pick for the week. So.
Yeah. Did you hear my story? I got to interview him. It's been years ago, and he was just so funny, but he was so polite.
Mm-hmm.
And he was such a gentleman, but he did say this to me, which he was really straightforward. You know, when I told him I had 6 daughters, at least he turned the interview about me. I'm like, I'm not here. Nobody wants to, I'm here to talk about you. You're the star. And he said, and then when I said I had 6 daughters, he goes, you need a hobby. So I was like, then I go completely red, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I have no idea what I'm going to say. So I think he did that. He had that little bit of a magic of just like, you don't know what to say, You didn't ever want to say anything dumb, because he didn't have tolerance for dumb questions.
Right.
He always commanded the room.
Yeah. Oh,
That.
completely.
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Totally.
Yes.
Yeah.
He
So
will be missed.
definitely. Yeah. An icon for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that just really put our state on the map, don't you feel? I mean, like for basketball.
Mhm.
I mean, I think that's, yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. All right, so I appreciate you saying that. And I like several jerseys, so I don't really have one. I mean, I wear one, I could change every hour with jerseys. All right, National Medical Science Awareness of Appreciation Day. Medical Science.
That's a mouthful.
Did you hear, and I'm kind of going real quick, I'm kind of going off of it, but there has been a middle school student that came up with a lotion that you put it on and it might help with skin cancer.
Oh.
Wouldn't that be a wonderful breakthrough?
Amazing.
What are the ingredients?
I don't know. I don't know that. They didn't tell that. You know what I mean? That would be something to dive in a little bit further, but what a blessing. Wouldn't that be
Yes.
awesome? I mean,
Yes.
wouldn't that be great? And I know everybody in the room, if we could say, cancer, what's that?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Wouldn't that be great? And then what about Alzheimer's too, Holly? Look
Oh, yeah.
look how far advanced we're making with that. I know that's near and dear to your heart, but like the medical, from that, just keep going.
The research that's been done over the past, 20, 30 years
Yeah,
has just made leaps and bounds. Let's keep it going.
right,
Let's keep it going.
right, absolutely. All right, so then also we just had this National Sandwich Day. We had that.
I heard that this morning that was National Sandwich Day, and I thought the same thing. I thought we'd already had that, but maybe it was a specific sandwich that we talked
Well,
about.
I'm really
I can't
confused. And
remember.
then World Jellyfish, and I even talked about yesterday.
What's your favorite sandwich?
Oh, whatever's in front of me. Whatever someone else has made and put in front of me, okay? I am there. Yeah. All right, what's your favorite?
Actually, I just probably had my favorite sandwich yesterday. It was egg salad.
What? Now that's
I love
different.
egg salad.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'd probably give you my egg salad.
I would probably, but it depends on what the ingredients are. It's all about the ingredients for me. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Egg salad's one of my favorites.
I can't wait to hear what Roger's
I
going to
know.
say.
Anything from Cheddar Depot.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
like a
Any sandwich.
BLT.
Their
or-
BLT, their
I've
chicken
heard
chicken
sandwiches.
salad.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay, I'm going to say
Any
I've
of the
not
deli
had
meat.
one.
Yes.
I've not had one, but
they make great sandwiches.
well, they've always had that reputation. Remember years ago,
Mm-hmm.
even years ago. Yeah. So, I think it would be delicious. Yes, I just have not had the opportunity.
My go-to from Cheddar Depot is the chicken sandwich with provolone cheese on it, and if I'm not in the mood for that, which I normally am, then it's their BLTs.
Yeah, I think I would like all that. Yeah, and they have soups too.
you got to go.
Yeah. Okay, bye. You two, you guys handle it. I'm gonna
carry
go.
on.
I'm gonna be knocking on Kevin's door. Can you make me a sandwich this early? Go away, Becky. Wait a couple hours and then we will. Anyway, no, I think that's great. No, it's good. And I love sandwich day, and I love a good sandwich, and I love soup and sandwich. You know, at this time of year, it just
Grilled cheese with some good tomato soup.
Get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I love grilled cheese. Yeah. Yeah, that's just dangerous. Yeah. All right, so get out and enjoy. Those are some holidays for sure. And we do have our, I want to say this so bad. Okay, Roger Pennington, Roger that. I want to say that when you're voting, Roger that. I'm sorry.
No.
How many times do you hear that? Is that like, Becky, come on.
That is the first, actually. So there are a lot of firsts happening here.
Really?
There are a lot of firsts today.
Oh, I love that. You know what I mean? But no, I think, yeah, because I always want to say that every time I talk to you, I want to say, you know, like, Roger that.
And you're answering somebody on the radio.
Yes, exactly.
Roger that.
So, like, at the fire department, did you ever say that? Did anyone ever say that? Roger that? I can't believe one of those Day brothers did not say Roger that.
You know, of all
They
the
missed
things
opportunities.
of all the things that happened there, that
Yeah.
was one that did not. Believe it or not.
Missed opportunity.
That was.
I'm going to tell them that's a missed opportunity. I would have to, I'd be doing that on the radio. Roger that. Okay, I'll get that out. I'm sorry. I had to get that out. Okay. All right, so let's talk about, first of all, let's meet Roger Pennington. And tell us a little bit about your background before we know you as the fire chief. We know all that, but let's find out a little bit about, we'll start from you were born. Okay. And have your desires and your wishes, and tell us a little bit about your background.
Well, Becky, we went to high school together. We graduated just a year apart, so
Yeah,
we kind of been together for a long time, in our community.
Yes.
It was a pretty easy choice for me to run for city council. I've been involved in public service for this community pretty much my whole entire adult life.
Right.
And after 36 years with the fire department, it was time to retire and move on, and own my own painting business, and just wanted to continue to serve the community, and this was a really good opportunity to do that. And I'm excited. It's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of interesting people and met a lot of good people I didn't know in the community, and just really looking forward to next Tuesday morning so we can get started.
Right. Well, I'm sure you're chomping at the bit to get. Yeah, it's not getting here quick enough because you're ready to roll. Ready.
It's been a long year. You go through the primary
Yeah.
season in the spring,
Yeah.
and then kind of take a couple of months off in the summer. Then about Labor Day it picks back up, and it's been nonstop since Labor Day.
Right. No doubt. So let's go back to in high school. Did you know that was something you wanted to do? Had you always wanted to be a fireman? I mean, because let's go back. In kindergarten or first grade, everybody wants to be a fireman, right?
Right.
You have those dreams. Was that always a dream?
Well, I was a little different because my dad was a firefighter,
Yeah.
and so was my grandfather.
Yes.
So being a fireman was just a natural thing that was going to happen
Part of
for
the
me.
family.
I love
Something that my earliest memories are going to the fire station with my mom to visit my dad.
I love
So
that. Yeah.
it's something that I knew I wanted to do. I had a passion to do it. I learned a lot from my dad and my grandfather about helping the community, and back then the fire department was a huge part of the community. Of course, times were different back then.
Sure.
And it was just instilled in me to help people, and the fire department was a good way for me to do that.
Love that story.
I know.
Joined as a volunteer in 1987 when I was 19 years old,
Fantastic.
and was a volunteer for 7 years to kind of get your feet wet. That's a great way to segue into a full-time position, and then was hired in 94 as a full-time firefighter.
That's awesome. So were they encouraging, or did they? Because like we all love the fire department and the firefighter, but we also know that that's really a very dangerous job. So were they encouraging, or how did they feel about you going into it?
They were supportive.
Oh, awesome.
I think my mom was probably a little more hesitant than my dad. Of
That's
course,
mom.
Of course, mom's going to be more hesitant.
My baby.
The baby boy there.
Yeah.
Dads kind of take a little pride in their sons kind of following in their footsteps, and I
Yeah.
think that's one of the reasons why my father did it.
That's
That's
awesome.
one of the reasons why I wanted to do it. And when you're 19, you're kind of an adrenaline junkie,
Sure.
like most
Yeah.
young boys are, young
Right.
men. So the fire department was a way to kind of feed that need to get an adrenaline rush.
Right.
There's nothing like building that's burning or somebody in a car accident, you have to get out. So, you kind of get that fix off of that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that I'd love to hear, like, because I think that sometimes we don't realize, I mean, what all goes on, and you guys are and still are so professional. I mean, you guys do kind of, you guys have got great personalities, but then when it comes to, like, when you're at at a fire or at something, you guys really are very impressive. I mean, I'll be there a lot of times covering it or something, and what you guys do, I can't brag enough on you guys and everybody, the whole group works really well together.
It's something that we take a lot of pride in.
It's a family.
Yeah, it is. That's the way the fire department's always been, and we have a great group of guys up there now. I feel really confident about the group that I left. We hire a couple of younger guys. They're going to move the department forward. It's time for old war horses like me to kind of move on. That's the way it happens. It happened when I first came on. When I came on in '94, there was a group of older guys that were ready to kind of retire and turn it over to the younger guys. And I've worked with 3 guys up there pretty much my whole career. So Tom Day, Mike Mead, and Ron Wilcox, we've all 4 have been there pretty much about the same amount of time. So it was fun to watch the department move with those guys kind of along by my side, and they're all 3 still there. I think within the next 3 or 4 years probably they'll all be gone, but we've got a really good group of young guys up there to kind of turn the place over to. So
love to hear that. So how has it changed? We're going to get off this, but I just love hearing about this because it's so fascinating, because it's really changed a lot. I mean, some updates.
Well, yeah, when I came on the fire department, all of the fire calls went direct to the fire department. We had red phones up there, like the bat phone on the old show.
I know. I love that.
There were 3 emergency lines that ran throughout the fire station, and if you had an emergency or a fire, you called 883-2121. That was the fire department number.
Yeah.
And you would talk directly to the fire department. We would dispatch ourselves. We had a radio monitor and a console and a way to send out a message to the other firemen that there was a fire. So, and that's not that long ago.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people realize, but the city of Salem Fire Department was not dispatched by 911 until around 2001.
Oh.
So we were still taking all of our calls up until the early 2000s, which is
not that
long ago.
Yeah.
That's a huge change, and probably a lot of advancements in safety, obviously, the equipment that we wear, the equipment that we use, a lot of advances in that make it safer for us and for the public. Some of those things are a little more cumbersome. The large turnout gear that we wear now is big and bulky, and it's not easy to work in. When I came on, you got a pair of hip boots and an old black coat and a helmet and a pair of thin gloves, and it wasn't the warmest thing in the winter, but it was sure easy to move around.
I know from a personal level and a business level, when because when we have issues at Salem Crossing or warnings or whatever go off, like you all coming in, I'm like, there comes Superman. They're coming to help us.
Well, that's a great point.
And that's the way I feel.
Because EMS medical has become such a huge part of the fire service.
Yeah.
It was unheard of in the night before 2001 or 2002 for a fire truck to go out when there was a medical call.
Right.
And now you expect a fire truck to be there when there was a medical call now. And I think that's been a good thing for the fire department overall, because products are manufactured safer. There are less fires than there were. Nobody burns wood anymore, really, like they did in the 70s during the energy crunch. Cars don't have carburetors now like they used to. So the amount of fire calls has went down quite a bit. So for the fire department to stay viable, we've kind of transitioned over into helping, from the medical side, which is good.
Oh,
it's helped the EMS crews out a lot.
Yeah. I'm thinking about those Christmas trees with those big bulbs that were like so hot that would catch on fire.
Yes.
I'm thinking, right? We've come a long way, baby. Some of this stuff years ago.
Many, many, many moons ago, they actually put the candles on the trees.
That makes Roger just nervous. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And also, Becky, we've lost a lot of industry in this community over the years.
That's right.
That accounted for, as bad as you hate to say, a lot of fire calls.
Yeah.
Not a lot of major fire calls, but fire calls.
Well, sure.
Smith Cabinet,
right.
Links, places like that we don't have.
Right.
That we used to make several fire runs during the year for a sawdust bin or something like that.
That is
really
true.
Major.
Yeah.
So from that aspect, the fire department has lost some of those calls, but we've gained in other areas.
Right. Yeah.
But it's still about serving and being viable and being out in the community.
Right. And we're gonna talk about all that. But I got a question. So do you come down a pole?
We do have a pole. When they renovated the fire station in 2005, they installed a pole because we have our living quarters is on the second story now.
Okay.
So there is a fire pole.
Do you go down the pole?
Yeah. It's much easier than going up.
But so why is that? Like, so years ago you didn't have the pole.
We didn't because it was a single-story building.
Okay.
So the living quarters were on the same floor as the fire trucks, as the engine bays. And when they renovated the fire station, they built a new living quarters on the second floor. So
they made it more like what we see on TV.
It is.
That's what I was thinking. What you see on TV, they're always coming down the pole when the fire alarms go off.
Yeah. That's what you always see.
Yeah.
But at 2 a.m., when you're asleep, excuse me, and you get woke up,
you
have to be really careful when you go down that pole.
I bet.
Because it's a long drop.
Oh,
yeah.
You know how they are when
you
you
hear
get
me
up.
plop.
Well, you know how it is when you get up at 2 a.m., sometimes you're not super alert.
You're not super alert.
No,
right?
from a fat,
From a safety standpoint, make sure you get a good hold.
Yes.
Note to self. Okay, off the air, we're going to hear about the plops, okay? I know somebody has plopped, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to have to find out. I got to know more about that.
I just hope no broken legs.
Yeah, that's right. Well, that's right. Well, I'm sure if their legs were asleep, if you woke up or something, had a cramp.
Just know we appreciate our fire department in Washington County. You all are awesome and wonderful, and we thank you so much for your service.
And I do want to side note, and I do want to say that I love that, because like I was in Louisville the other day, and there was a respond to I'm going to use your terms, subject. There was a subject that was being responded to, and the fire department came, the police came, and the EMTs came. And I love that. And I think that anybody, when you're in that emergency, and you're in that, just like Holly said, that she felt like Superman, I feel like the white knight comes in, and saves, I always feel so good when you have all three. And
yes.
and I think at first that was something that used to not be done, but now.
No. And hats off to those early ambulance crews.
Yeah.
That were staffed by 2 people.
Oh, and trying to,
there's
maybe
nobody else there to help.
Yeah, exactly.
And now when you go to an emergency scene, you have, like you said, police officers, you have firefighters there, and you would not imagine how much easier it makes that scene go when you have 6 or 7 more sets of hands to help get equipment off the truck, to hold the door.
Oh, yeah.
To help put somebody on a
lift,
cot.
To lift. And I think as the person, when you're on that other end, it's such a blessing when you see everybody coming to help.
Yes.
And well, you guys hats off to everybody, on that. So I think that this really, Roger, the reason I want to show that I think it's just so awesome, because I think it's, here you are, you've done all this years of service for our community, and what a blessing for our community to have you. And then now you've retired, which yay for you, because you're still young, and then now you're going back into more servanthood. That just says a lot about your character.
To help the community in a different way.
Yeah.
Well, I've always been interested in politics. Not so much the bad part about politics, but the good part about politics.
Yeah, and there are good.
A
lot of times we hear the bad because it bad people or whatever, it takes how many negatives or positives to outweigh that one negative. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think you have to separate national politics from local politics.
Right.
It's so much different.
Yeah.
A lot of the issues that are going to be debated in Washington, D.C. are not issues that we as the city council are going to deal with. We're going to deal with the fire department, the police department, the street department, the cemetery, water, sewer, things like that that are more involved on a local level. I think more of the things that affect your everyday life are decided by your city councils and your county commissioners and your county councils and your school boards.
Yes.
That's where you really, I think, make a difference, is at the local level.
I'm glad you said that, because I 100% say that all the time. I mean, not that, the national's not, important, but these local, this is where they really need to, everybody needs to come out, and really support and because these are the people that are making the decisions for our community. And you want, you want that leadership, you want that person that knows and understands. And of course, I'm sure on finances too, in your past, you've had to learn a lot about finances.
Well, yeah,
too.
when I was fire chief, you're submitted a budget every year. You have a certain amount of money you have to operate on. You have to make it work for your department, for the things that you need. You have to be able to plan for things that you don't have, but you want to get.
Right.
And owning your own business is obviously something that brings that part of that aspect into being able to budget money, spend money, hire employees, bid jobs, things like that. So yeah, I feel very confident about that part. And being the fire chief, you really get to see the inner workings of the city budget, because you're a department head, so you're involved in a lot of those meetings about money issues. So
I don't think a lot of people understand how that works.
I mean, it's a more complicated process than what a lot of people think, because the city obviously has so much money they can spend, and that money has to be allotted between different departments to make sure that we continue these services that we have here. Because I think for a small town, I think we have a lot of very nice services that you don't get in larger communities.
Yeah.
I think we're completely blessed.
Yes.
And I think that just like our trash pickup to our leaf pickup. I mean, you go other communities, they're like, you do what?
The trash pickup alone, y'all are blessed.
Oh yes,
I wish I lived within city
and the
limits.
leaves. I mean, they're picking up leaves now. I mean, that's just a nice little service. If you rake them to the end of the yard, then they'll come through and pick them up.
Yeah, our guys that work on the street department, they do amazing work to keep our city beautiful and clean.
Yeah, they do.
With all the storm damage that we just had, those guys were out they were out that night working, and I know there's still small areas that they're still working on now because of how much damage there was, but those people do a great job. If you can drag it to the street, they're going to take it.
Yeah.
And I work in communities all around southern Indiana and talk to folks, and they just can't believe that.
I know.
We don't pay any extra for that.
I know.
That's what blows my mind.
I know, it's true.
It blows my mind.
I didn't realize it, because I feel like, because we've been here all of our life. And then when you do talk to someone out of town, they're like, what? You do what? Yeah, that's not, that's a service. And I think you bring up a good point. And there were, when we did have that, which was just not too long ago, those bad storms and the tornado, actually, you could hear chainsaws everywhere. You talk about a community that pulls together.
And that's another great thing about living in a small town, is that neighbors help neighbors, friends help friends, strangers help strangers, and that's just that feeling of a small town that we're lucky to have here. And I want to continue to see that be the way that it is.
Right.
I really love everything about our community. Obviously, there's some bumps in the road every now and then, but I think our best days are ahead of us. I'm excited about the future of Salem, about where we're going to go.
Right. And let's talk about, and we're going to do this at the end too, but how will it read on the ballot this next Tuesday? How will it read if people are wanting to mark that box?
You mean what office? I'm running for city council at large.
At large. And it'll say Roger
K. Pennington.
Roger K. Pennington. So that's what they want to look for.
Yes.
Okay. And so going back on the getting ready, you've been very well prepared on this. Have you talked to others that have held this position to kind of find out what's involved a little bit? Did you kind of?
Yes, I've worked with a lot of different past city council members and current city council members over the years on different projects and different things, and have just gained a lot of insight. Have worked for, I think, 5 different mayors now.
Yeah.
I think Justin makes the 5th mayor that I've served under when I was with the fire department. So I've had really good relationships with all of them. Was the fire chief for one of them for 4 years. So that was a pretty big deal for my career and helped me with some insight. But just getting back to, I've done everything from. I've served on the Salem Park Board for 4 years, and I know that's not a glamorous position, but you really are involved in a lot of important things. You learn a lot.
Absolutely. I
was one of the founding members of the Washington County YMCA, where we started our meetings in the high school gym.
I remember that,
And we kind of moved that project forward. There was a group of us that worked extremely hard on that, and we we had a storefront property out by the old license branch.
I remember that.
That was
Yes.
our first facility.
Yeah.
And we had a couple of dumbbells and a treadmill.
Yeah.
And
You get yourself in shape, okay?
didn't have any really programs that we
But that
were
was
offering.
yeah.
And we worked on that, and you see the facility that we have now.
Yeah.
And I was extremely proud to be a part of that. And I was the treasurer for about 5 years, so that helps with the financial background.
Wow.
So I've coached at different points in my life.
Yes, you have, and a wonderful coach.
For around probably 30 years. I've coached everything from second graders to high schoolers, and have just enjoyed every bit of that, and have met so many good people, and have coached a lot of good young men and women that I still are friends with today, that I'm still friends with today, that I see that have stayed in our community.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot of little things over a lifetime that kind of get you prepared. And I feel like I've kind of put the work in, not that it was ever work, because it wasn't.
Right.
It's things that I really enjoyed, and I'm looking forward to the next chapter.
Right. I love that experience. You know what I mean? Because you do have, you're used to the finances. There's a lot, and until you actually get in that office, you won't know everything. You know what I mean? But you've been to board meetings, you know how to do, and you know how they are ran. This is stuff that we encourage people to get to know and find out all this, and you've been doing all this. So you've really been kind of blazing the trail. And I feel like, do you feel like now that you're retired, like why now? Is that because you feel like you have more time?
Yes, I do have more time, and I'll be honest, I'm a busybody. I'm a person that has to be active. I have to be
going.
I have to be doing something.
Yeah, I've seen you pacing on the microphone. I'm just kidding.
So I want to stay involved. I feel like I have a lot to offer. I'm excited about, as I said, the kind of the path that we're going on now. And I want to be a person that helps move us forward and bring some new things to our community, and hopefully make our community better for everybody.
Right.
Well, and I like the experiences that you've had within the community, all of them, because it's like every drop of water that you put in the pool creates ripples, and those ripples, look at how many lives they've impacted from your ripples. The fact that people that you've mentored and coached as they were younger, and you made an impact on their lives, where they're still here and they're still communicating with you and they're still seeking guidance and advice. And it's like you created so many ripples with the impact you've made in Salem, that it's incredible, and I appreciate that.
Well, thank you for saying that. This was a kind of a bittersweet football season for us. We didn't have a lot of wins, but we had 6 seniors, that had been with me since they were freshmen. So it was a kind of an emotional end of the season.
But what a comeback!
Because I watched those kids, kind of mature and grow from the time they were freshmen until they were senior, and it was just amazing to watch it happen. And just really proud of all of them, and I'm definitely going to miss them and their families. But most of those people are in our community, so I'm going to continue to see them.
Yeah, definitely. So, when you decided to put your name in the hat, okay, so you go to your wife, Heather, okay, and you say, hey, I think I'm going to run for city council at large. What was her reaction?
It was good.
Okay.
She's my biggest supporter.
Hold on, honey, you're cutting out. I can't hear.
No, she's my biggest supporter, and really, she's the brains of the bunch, really.
I love that. That's
I couldn't do anything without her, but she's
that can
not
make or break you. Had to have that strong backing.
Oh, she is, and as far as an event planner and a coordinator, and
I love that.
putting me in good positions, and she's the best. But she's not a political person.
She don't have to be, though.
No.
Just her being beside you, and helping you and supporting you, it helps you. Whether it helps you be stronger, and it helps you feel supported. And at the end of the day, when you need to relax, you have somebody to talk to.
Well, and just about any decision that I make, I usually bounce it off her.
It's good to have a life partner to have
and
that.
we don't always come to the same place, but I really do value her input and looking at it from a different view. And
good, solid conversation that's not of your opinion is also good.
I don't like to always be told what I want to hear. I mean, I like people to give.
We wives, we like this.
We like diversity.
Greg White had no idea that he had anything wrong with him until he got married.
So yes, she's been supportive, and she's been there the whole way, and I've been very proud of her, because I know that she despises politics from the standpoint of fighting and bickering and division.
Yeah.
But her passion is youth, kind of like mine, and so she comes up with some really good ideas about things that we can do to help our youngsters, to help our youth.
Yeah, I think that's great. I think in a relationship, anytime, this is my story, or the way my true story. Okay, I feel like that when you have a marriage, and when one is, or both, I'm just going to say the one, let's say, is doing something and being very successful at it, and you're talking about being, you went from, maybe volunteering to being on the department, and then going on the fire department, and then becoming fire chief, and then, at a young age, still young, retiring, and then having your own business, then means you've been successful. And that means that somebody behind you has been that person that's helped you get where you need to be, or where you are.
Obviously, there's a lot of people along the way.
Right,
you look
exactly.
back.
But a good spouse, and somebody that, like, when you see somebody thriving, or somebody like bettering themselves and going that, there's somebody at home. I mean, I'm not saying, yeah, you're right. There's a lot of great people, Roger, that, but there's somebody at home that's really giving you and supporting you and encouraging you to be that man that you are.
Yeah, and I think obviously it starts at home with your parents, and both my parents were
definitely.
I mean, I had great parents. I would, a lot of people say they don't want to ever go back and relive anything. I would go back tomorrow and do it all again. I have a lot of people that say, I would, I don't want to go back to high school or middle school. I would go back tomorrow. I love school.
Yeah. But it's your
I love the area that we grew up in.
It's a great area. But it's your parents, it's your teachers, it's your coaches, it's your church, if you go to church, it's your church members. It can be your parents' friends that guided you. It can be everybody that you worked with, your peers. Everybody has an impact on you and helped you become who you are, the person you are today. At least that's the way I feel about my life.
Oh, I agree.
Is that many people have impact. But again, the strong spouse helps.
Yes, but because, like what you're saying, it's almost like we talked about, like a baton, like, because you did have all that, and what a blessing that you, had all that, and then continuing on now with a spouse that supports. I think that to me says a lot. It speaks volume. Yeah, on your success.
And I was just sitting here thinking about this radio station. I've done work for you guys over the years,
absolutely.
Helping call games. I mean, going back a long time ago, I've worked with a lot of interesting people.
Yes.
Doing football and basketball games for you guys, and have some really good memories of that.
Yeah.
And that's another part of the puzzle to your life that you kind of put together.
Yeah.
And I learned a lot of things by broadcasting basketball and football games on Wslm.
Well, right. No, and we're very grateful for that. I'm glad when you start talking about, I'm hoping it was a good experience. I get a little nervous over here. No, we love our announcers, and I do want to, we've got some great announcers that are chomping at the bit tonight, because Eastern's still going. And,
they are.
And I'm telling you right now, they're young. Those announcers are a blast, and they'll be playing. Yes, it will be.
Somebody help me keep you track.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say
games.
It's Trenton or Triton. Triton, yeah. Trenton is Britt Miller's son. I told Britt Miller, I said, it's a T. I don't know the school, but it starts with a T, so we have to win because it's a T, because all of his children are T's.
I have a son named Trent.
That's right, you do too. That's right. Yeah. So I feel like the vibe is we're just going to win this. You know what I mean?
We're
Going to win. So we want to cheer them on, and I was going to say that at the end, but yes, I'll go ahead and segue in. And please listen to our announcers. They'll be full throttle tonight, and they've got the airways, and I can't wait. And
what time does it start?
7 o'clock start.
Okay.
So they usually take the airway at 6:45, and they're new, they're young, and they're alumni from Eastern, and they're just great. You know what I mean? And they have
It's gonna
that.
be exciting announcing tonight.
Oh yeah, and they get that where like, and she goes, you know, or he goes, you know what I mean, like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, they got some of that going on, so it's fun, it's a blast. So that's going to be exciting. But we encourage you to go to the game, support the youth for sure. You know what I mean? But you can wear your headphones and listen to our guys, or if you can't go to the game, we will be broadcasting it and we'll be streaming it too. So. Yeah, so everybody, alumni, I know that'll be cool for alumni, you know what I mean, to listen to that.
Yeah.
So.
First sectional championship I believe they played in.
I know.
That is
yeah,
awesome.
Yeah. Well, they've come a long way and they've paid their dues because they're fairly new, you know, so yeah, so great program. And I love a program that's going, you know, just like Scottsburg, they're new too, and they did really good this year too. So, all right, let's go back, Roger. So anyway, but we were talking about like that, and also let's talk. You have beautiful children too, and I'm glad you brought that. Yeah,
We have 4 children.
Yes.
Trent, Wade, Zane, and Eden.
Yes.
We have 4.
I love those names.
Oh yeah, they're beautiful, and you are very active with all of them.
We are very active, and with our 3 grandchildren that we have.
Yes.
So my wife would move them in tomorrow.
Oh, wouldn't we all?
House.
Wouldn't we all?
Yeah.
Yes. I was gonna say, you know, I'm gonna be up to 14. My husband wouldn't let me, but I would move them all in. You know what I mean? Yes, yes. So anytime I'm asked, could you pick up somebody? I'm like, well, you know, I could just pick them up and they just live with me. You know, I'm like, you know, something about the moms and dads want them back. You
Just
know?
get a big like a big mansion compound or whatever, and everybody has their own wing, and y'all meet in the middle for supper every night.
Have you met my sassy daughters? I don't know how those sassy girls would. I don't know. They're pretty sassy. You know, that's a whole nother program. Okay. All right, but no, you've got a beautiful family, Roger. You're right here in Salem. You live right here. You've been. You're very, I guess, if you will, transparent, right? I mean, like, because here you are. You know what I mean? I mean, people know you since high school and middle school and seen all, you know, how everything goes on, and you're still here, and then you're going on further to say, now I want to give back to the community.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously live and work here every day. I'm out in the community and talk to people every day, and it's something I have a lot of passion for. I've been very blessed along the way with you know, a lot of success and things. Some of that's from hard work, some of it's from luck, but that's kind of how life kind of evolves. When you have an opportunity to be lucky, you have to take it.
Right.
The way I look at it. So yeah, I feel like that I have a good relationship with the community. I feel like that I've been so involved. I think I'm an open book pretty much.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm an easy person to talk to, and want input from people about what they want to see this community be, or problems or issues that we're having.
Right. And I think when anybody in office, I think that we have to realize too that, well, encourage people to come to the meetings, come to the city council meetings, come see, you know, and get to know what's going on and understand. But because a lot of times people don't come to the meetings, you know, and I think that's great for them to come. But I think also that it's difficult because you do have guidelines and things that you might want to do, and I feel like you're transparent, like as far as like communicate. I think you're a great communicator.
I think that's the most important function of local government, is to communicate what's actually going on to the community, because community involvement is down as far as people coming to meetings.
Yeah.
And I think part of that is the effect of social media, because now if you have a complaint, it's easy, you can just go to your phone and type it in.
Right.
Whereas used to, you might have to come to a meeting, approach your mayor or your city council and actually voice your concern.
Right.
And, you know, social media has its place, but if you have a problem, that's not the best place to get it solved.
That is not the place to solve it.
You can voice it, but it's probably not going to be solved by that. There are other steps that we have to take to get things done. And I know it's easy, you know, if you're having a bad day or something's not going right, it's easy to get on your phone and send out a tweet or put a message on Facebook or something, but that's really not how government's going to solve problems for you if you have problems.
Amen. I agree. And I think that's something, you know, and I think that, you know, being transparent, being there, and where they see you at the grocery store, they see you out, and, you know, where they can talk to you, or if they have a concern, or come to the meetings if they have a concern. And I just want to encourage people to do that, because I think a lot of times decisions, and, you know, you're talking about, when you're talking about all these, you know, decisions, finances, to, you know, what certain things that go on in this community, it's so involved for other people, for the community to be involved with knowing what you can do and what you can't do. And
Just really surprised at how low turnout is sometimes at city council meetings. But if there's not something on the agenda that personally affects you, people just don't go because people are busy. People are very busy in their lives. They have things going on. But I would just encourage people to be involved and to make your voice heard, because ultimately that's, if I am elected, I mean, I work for you.
Yeah.
That's going to be my job.
It's definitely, I think it's been hard to get people to put their name in the hat, because some people are fussy, and we've had some fussiness, you know, and I think, like you said, on social media sometimes or something, people will jump to something, and when it can be just to pick up the phone and call, or just a conversation can really make sense if you can have that instead of hitting the computer and typing, something out.
Well, people just seem to take things super personal. Seems like, and I think if there's a lot of room for people to be civil. We can disagree about things, but most people in this community want what's best for everybody. I mean, they just do. They might have a different idea of how to get there.
Right.
But I think most people in this community want Salem to succeed and have nice things and see us move forward.
Right. And so, what are some of the things that, like, sitting on that city council, what are some of the things that you'll be like in control over? What would be some of your job opportunities?
Well, probably the largest thing is help to prepare and pass a budget every year. That's a function of the city council. That's a very important, obviously.
Right.
That's a long process. It takes a couple of months and a lot of meetings, and working with the city clerk treasurer, who works very close with the mayor, who works close with the city council. So that's kind of a collaborative part of the function of the city council person. And then the city has ordinances. The city adopts ordinances, and that's a function of the city council person. If I know this sounds meaningless, but if somebody wants an alley closed behind their house.
But to that person, that means the world.
But those are the type of things that a city council person does. Obviously, just being involved in pretty much what's going on in the city with all of our different departments that we have, and I think it's important for a city council person to visit those departments and kind of make themselves aware of what's happening in those departments. Talk to department heads, talk to employees. See what changes that we might possibly need to be made, or areas that we can improve on.
Right. I think they would appreciate that, so much for, because here they are doing their thing and they're doing a great job.
Yes.
But just to have someone, one of the council members to stop in and just ask, what can we do, or what.
Well, I mean, if I'm going to be voting on something.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously I'm one of 5.
Yeah.
If I do get elected, there are 5 council people. So I want my vote. I mean, I want to be informed about a decision that I make.
I love that.
I don't know why you wouldn't want to do that.
Right. And being retired, that kind of gives you some extra. That gives you a little bit.
It does give me a little bit of leeway.
Yeah.
I'm a little more flexible now. Even though I do own my own business, I am still out working every day.
Which I do want to say is a wonderful business. Great painter. Great painter. Okay, sorry.
But
side note.
I have got myself in a position where I am a lot more flexible. I have a lot more leeway where I can take off, and if there's something that kind of needs to be done or I need to look at,
right,
then I put myself in that position where I can do that.
I think people appreciate that for sure. And especially just like sometimes people just need to be heard, or just to be listened or explained a little bit. Don't you feel?
Yes.
I think that's so valuable, and I think on a city election, those are what's so important. Those are things that that like people just listening for years.
And our Park and Rec department is a department that I'm glad to see. We have a new Park and Rec director. Tom Foltz is in that position now, and I think he's going to bring back a lot of things that we might have done in the past that we haven't been doing, and that's an important department that over the years has done a lot for our community. A lot of kids have benefited from Park and Rec programs, and I know that he's very passionate about that, and I think you'll see some big improvements there, changes coming, and that's a department that I'm going to really pay really close attention to. It kind of means a lot to me.
I agree. Let's go back. Let me roll back years ago. This is a blast from that past. Sharon Nelson. Sharon Nelson she kicked it. She was. Yeah, she was awesome.
There was always some kind of activity.
Activities always going on. Always.
was doing, and those are, a lot of those activities weren't activities that cost a lot of money.
Right.
You're not talking, hundreds of thousands of dollars for these events. I mean, these are simple things to put together that you get a lot of bang for your buck, so to speak. I mean, you don't have to spend a lot, but you get a lot out of.
And then you jump to Denise Newkirk.
Mhm.
Love Denise, and Denise had the heart. You know what I mean? And she had a lot going on.
She was always hopping.
Always hopping.
Always hopping.
Yeah,
And then-
we've always had really good park and rec directors.
yes.
That's not
I know.
where I was going
No,
with that.
no.
It's
I'm just
that-
I'm just thinking
We're just
about it all.
recognizing
Yes,
them.
yes. I mean,
just
I can
that-
still hear Sharon Nelson saying, WSLM 4 on the Easter egg hunt. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Or I can still hear those sounds. And Denise, and then Sean Romero, love all of them. And then now we got Tom Foltz. So in which this has been something I think he's really going to thrive at.
Well, Tom grew up in that era where
Well,
Sharon Nelson was the park
absolutely.
director. So
It was a blast from the past,
he
yeah.
was a beneficiary
Yeah.
of a lot of the
Great Easter
really
egg hunts. Yeah.
neat things that happened
Yeah.
in our community back
Well,
then.
Yeah, and I got
And
to
he
be a
can
part.
take that base and build upon it.
Yeah, and I got to be a part. I was actually over the Summer Fun a couple summers. Had a blast, and those were great. Those were great programs. So our Park and Rec has had through the years some great programs with the city.
And just to not plug the YMCA, but I guess it is. There's a good working effort between the YMCA and the city that I don't think a lot of people realize, and I think that's something that we can build on. Is that teamwork, working together, pooling our resources, and able to offer more with the two bodies working together.
Right,
So,
and let's throw in a third one as Charm, the school, Salem School Corporation.
Yes.
You guys are fantastic. I mean, like working with the Salem School too. And everybody working together.
It's all
Everybody
about
working
It's all about
together.
networking.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's the old saying is, it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Well, true. It's true.
And-
you know what I mean? And I love that, that the city has got a really good relationship with Salem schools. I know the mayor has really worked hard to make sure that is a good relationship, and I love that. Everybody kind of working together for the same common goal, And of course, we love our youth, and that's a big. I'm glad that's going to be a great program. I'm glad, and I think you'll have a lot of attention to that. I think the finances too. We know that nobody wants taxes raised, but I think sometimes the different departments come and they ask for the kind of. I'm just going to kind of do it 101 real quick. They come and they ask for for money to do stuff, and then for the city council, you want to do everything, but sometimes financially you can't do everything at this point.
Yeah,
I mean-
and there's tough decisions that have
Yeah.
to be made, and I think that's where a lifetime of experience and knowledge and dealing with different situations that may have happened in your life kind of get you prepared for that,
Yeah.
to make the most sound decision that will benefit the most people. I mean, that's really what it comes down to.
Right.
It's about what priorities do you see and do you have
Yeah.
that we
And-
can benefit the most people, and we can spend our money the most wisely, I guess I should say.
No, that's great. And budgeting, and that's something you're really good at. So that's very important, And then of course communication, you're excellent at that. So you're checking all the boxes here, Roger.
Well, I hope they check my box.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
Exactly. So where will you be on election day?
I will be at the Armory from 5:30 a.m. to 6 p.m.
You are going
It's
to be
gonna
wore
be a
out.
long day.
Yeah.
Away from the hill.
I'll look
Holly,
forward-
Holly will turn the lights on and off.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn the lights on and off.
Come up here if y'all need some food.
There you go. Hot chocolate. What have we looked at the weather even for the?
I think it's
I have no
I'm sure Roger
temperatures
has.
in the upper 50s, lower 60s, slight chance of rain. So it's not going to be a terrible election day. It's not going to be freezing cold.
Yeah.
We don't have storms, or
Not so pleasant.
we don't have a really good chance of rain. So hopefully people will get out. I really encourage people to get out and be a part of our process and cast your vote. It's one of the few things that we get to do that I think we all should do. I think I voted in every single election since I was eligible to vote.
Love
I don't
that.
think I've missed
Yeah.
one,
Yeah. I think we had a.
primary or general.
Yeah, and we had some really good. I think I'm with you on that, Roger, because I really had some good. Of course, my parents were really very much about voting, but I think that we had some really good, solid seeds that were planted to learn about, and I really want to encourage everyone younger too about getting involved in their community, being a part, and you're being invested.
Yes.
And then also giving back now, like you're doing, and then also realizing how important it is to get out and vote, and how important, and like the clerk's office we just talked about earlier works so hard at this. So let's show them, let's be respectful and show them our part.
Yeah, you would not believe the job that Stephanie does. I mean, I know I'm bragging on her, but
you should.
But I think our county is recognized, and speaking with her, I think we are known for now of running a very, very smooth program here in Washington County. Mm-hmm. I know that we are judged very highly by our peers up in Indianapolis.
Oh, definitely. So, and I hear that. They'll tell me, they'll say, you really got a really good clerk's office. I hear that all the time. So, and I love to tell her that, because I think when somebody brags on somebody, they
need to hear it.
They do. Yeah, definitely. And so this coming Tuesday, and I do want to remind everybody right now, early voting is going on right now, and then it's open right now, and they'll go till noon. They're going to take their lunch, and then they'll be back open from 1 to 4. If you feel like it might be something that you might not get there on Tuesday, then please get out and do early voting this week. And today would be the last day, I guess, and right there. But then you'd have Monday. And
I think they're tomorrow morning, I think.
Are they? Yeah, I think they are doing Saturdays, aren't they? Yeah, they bend over backwards to help. To work with people's schedule. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. For those that work out of town or something, mm-hmm. This is like great. And of course, you can do mail-in. There's really no reason not to vote.
Right. A lot of ways to vote now.
Definitely.
Traveling board, absentee by mail, in person at the Armory, or at the clerk's office at the government building. Right.
Yeah. Well, Roger, I am so happy that you came in this morning and let us know a little bit more about Roger Pennington, and I appreciate you coming on Coffee Club, and I think it's important for our community to know, and probably most of the things that we did already know, we just, good reminders. And of course, let's go back over how will it read, when on election day, when they go in there and they take that ballot in their hands, how will it read on the ballot?
It will be City Council at Large, and it will have my name, Roger K. Pennington.
Roger K. Pennington.
And a box beside you can check.
Check the box.
There you go. Well, thank you so much for coming in, and keep up the great work. And of course, then on election night, I will probably be throwing a microphone in front of your face. So
not Becky throwing a microphone in front of your face.
People run from me in my microphone. Yeah, that's why I had to go cordless, because those cords used to years ago.
Well, those long nights of waiting for returns are in
the
past.
Do you remember those,
I do remember
Roger? Those. Oh my goodness!
Sitting in the old courtroom at the courthouse.
Absolutely. You are talking a blast. Late nights of,
midnight, 1 a.m. sometimes, especially for county elections.
We did it though, didn't we?
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was crazy. Like, it would be snowing sometimes. We would come out and scraping windows, or scraping the windows off.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it would, and you never knew.
And now it's almost too fast, because
it's almost like, what do you do with your son? Yeah, I know.
The build-up's there, and then it's instantly over.
Yeah, it's like, what do you do with yourself? You have all this adrenaline going, and you've not slept at all, so it's going to be. But yay, it's going to be fun. All right, thank you, Roger K. Pennington, for coming in. And Holly, let's thank our sponsors this morning.
We'd like to thank Meadowview Healthcare, Walmart, Salem Crossing, Hoosier Uplands, Americans for Prosperity, Fox Purley Wealth Management, Fantastic Sam's, Leader One Financial, and Dr. Black's Eye Associates, and Dr. Mindy Gunn. Thank you so much, sponsors.
And I want to encourage everybody in our Washington County area, and even those listening surrounding counties, please let's get out and support the Eastern Musketeers. And that is a huge part of our community and our county, and we are cheering them on, and we hope for a great victory tonight. And that's why they call it a game. You never know. Mm-hmm. So we're cheering them on. And hopefully, anyway, they'll get a good victory. And tune in. The guys will take the airways usually about 6:45. Who knows? They're chomping at the bit. They might start at noon today. You know what I mean? I don't know. If I'd let them, they probably would analyze everybody. But anyway, they're doing a great job. So tune in tonight. And thank you to our sponsors, too, who sponsor high school football here on Wslm. So tune in tonight for some great football games. And then we also have IU going to be playing. We also have Purdue this weekend, and of course we're doing football and basketball, so it's a little confusing. Of course, the Colts will be playing this weekend too. The Pacers have started, so
fun time of the year
for sure. But definitely thank you, Roger K. Pennington, and City Council at Large. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
Council at Large. Vote for Progress on November the 7th. Vote for Experience. Vote Republican. Paid for by the Washington County Republican Party.
Let branch manager Autumn Scott Hall and her staff at Salem's Leader One Financial Office on the public square help you live your best dream with just the right financing. Autumn and Camissa are licensed for all FHA, VA, USDA, conventional, and jumbo mortgage programs. Whether you're a first-time home buyer, seasoned real estate investor, or simply looking for refinancing options, Autumn's team will help you and ensure you receive the right mortgage for your unique financial situation at a competitive and fair price. They'll communicate with you all the information you need to know when you need to know it while offering the best mortgage loan.
I'm under the sponsors.
In the beginning, there was fun on the radio. Then the radio industry fell victim to corporate America and venture capitalist bankers who marched in with their research and up to their armpits in debt and turned the radio band into a wasteland of cookie cutters, faceless, sound-alike stations who completely lost touch with the people they were meant to serve. Then there were two voices that cried out in the wilderness, faint at first, but becoming louder with every passing ratings book. It's okay to have fun again, to give the people what they really want to hear, and not treat them like a sea of mindless followers who have no choice in their radio entertainment. Welcome to the Rick and Bubba Show.
Here we go. It is 7 minutes past. A brand new hour underway now from Sweet Home, Alabama to the world. Speedy, the real Greg Burgess, Helmsy, Eddie Van Adler, all make up team Rick and Bubba, and we thank you for being here again. Things you need to know. Still to come on the program, the wonderful wheel of canned meat will spin. Our golden ticket seat guests are filing in. Some of them will get a chance to spin that for you. Coming up this weekend, a brand new edition of Rick and Bubba University, the podcast Letters from the Audience. Bubba and I walk through a lot of your letters and answer some questions, a lot of behind-the-scenes info and historic information that we review. If you're a fan of this program, we think you'll enjoy this weekend's Letters from the Audience. Greg today in Birmingham, 11 to 1, Hendrick Hoover Auto Mall.
That's right.
So you can go by and see him.
Beautiful. Bring your baseball gloves.
Yeah, that's right. Greg wants to play catch. He and Baseball Bo might be throwing a few today.
Come on now.
Speedy tomorrow at UAB at Protective Stadium, and I'll be at Valleydale Church on Sunday doing both those morning services at my home church. So all that coming up, rest of the show, and through the weekend. Welcome back, Bill Bubba Bussey. There he is.
Rick, glad to be here, and thank all of you for letting us do what we do.
All right, so I know we're in that mode now. We're transitioning now. I'm not. You mentioned it earlier. I don't really want to talk about the daylight savings time ends this weekend. I don't really want to go there.
You got to fall back
because that's a Debbie Downer. Yeah, and so, but anyway,
Rick, this causes physical harm to people. I mean, it's documented, and we're still allowing it to happen.
Well, I don't know how we're sitting here just allowing this archaic Neanderthal thing to continue.
Like a 2-liter to the head.
Right. But anyway, this we do know that we're moving in now to the holiday season. We've got Thanksgiving, we got Christmas, we've got the New Year all coming up. And so to start this off, Mariah Carey. Now I will tell you this, and this just people just have different tastes and stuff. I cannot stand All I Want for Christmas Is You. Hate the song.
I don't think it's overplayed.
It would be fine to me.
I love it.
If it was eradicated from the landscape of all music, it would be fine with me. I don't like this one, and I don't like that one that George Michael did, whatever that one is.
Oh, yeah.
And those are two that are way too popular.
I like the one by the Eagles. That's one I like.
Yeah, what is the one that George Christmas, I Gave My Heart Away?
Yes. Yeah. Speedy loves that.
Yeah,
I do.
If I could take both those songs and throw them away, I believe that Santa would add a gift to my list.
Okay.
But anyway, this has been an ongoing thing now. Mariah Carey is facing a $20 million lawsuit over one of the worst Christmas songs ever. All I Want for Christmas
a lot of money,
is You. Musician Andy Stone, whoever that is is suing Mariah Carey for $20 million in a California court, so he's got a shot. He is alleging that her popular holiday song, the nauseating "All I Want for Christmas Is You," infringed on his copyright. Greg, he's, of course, you already knew this, lead vocalist of Vince Vance and the Valiants.
Oh, is that the guy with the big hair stuck up on his head?
I
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
And the song, Rick, that he's saying she stole this from is "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Right. He said he did that in '89, and he accused Carey and her
is it the
team
same song or not?
of copying his song. And Bubba, how do you say this? I've never heard this accusation before. He's basically saying the structure of how the song was composed.
It's composed, but it's composed. I can't say it either.
Yeah. But anyway, the bottom line, he's saying that she composed the song in a way that the structure was stolen from him. Now, Adler, I'll need a little help from you. You've got, more musical education than any of us. Can you go out and claim that the structure of a song? Now, I thought he was going to go, look, the song has the same title.
Yeah, it's my song.
And I would start there. But it sounds like all that's the same about the song is the title. But now he claims not just the title, but the way they composed the song and structured it. They obviously used my song as the foundation.
I mean, how specific can he get in that claim, though?
They're saying that the lyrics were directly stolen, and about 50% of the song is copyrighted.
I'd like to hear.
Now, Rick, I'd never heard this before. Stone claims that her team had access to his version of "All I Want for Christmas Is You" because of its wide commercial availability. It actually charted on Billboard for years, and his band performed the song during an appearance at the White House in the spring of 1994, the same year that Mariah Carey released her version of it.
Well, wouldn't I have then went, hey?
Well, that's my...
He run out of that Vince Vance and the Valiant money?
Well, that's what was
'Cause I'm
curious,
sure it
the
was
timing of this, because this... she's been singing this song for several years now, and you would have thought
Rick liked
they would have already brought it up.
All right, I have Vince Vance and the Valiant's version. Do y'all want to hear it?
I'd like to hear that.
Sorry, Adler.
Okay, Adler, you okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Can I play this?
Yes.
Can you cover it at all? Okay. Let me know, because I want to be
a song too.
All right. So this is Vince Vance and the Valiant's version.
It must not be Vince.
I like this.
Silver bells on string.
Forgot about this song.
Is that Tiny Tim singing that?
If I wrote a letter
That must be one of the
to
Valiant.
Santa Claus, I would ask for just one thing. I don't need sleigh rides in the snow.
All I know is the chorus on the other one.
You want me to roll Mariah from mine? So
Would you?
Hold on a second.
Okay.
We'll get to the chorus. Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear the-
Let's
hear the chorus.
Stockings and bows, 'cause all I want for Christmas is you.
Okay.
I didn't know that song existed.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
I like it though.
Yeah, I do like it.
And I had no idea it'd been on the charts.
Yeah,
No.
I didn't.
I've heard that somewhere in a movie or.
Yeah.
All right, speak. Let's hear
man,
Mariah
Can't
Carey.
put it together.
Was it Die Hard, the Christmas movie?
I think it was. I think it was.
Or Rambo, First Blood, the Christmas movie?
It's all I want for Christmas, right? There you go. We'd have to. Can we get it all into it? Or?
Oh gosh, I hate even hearing it.
She picks the tempo up.
You sang this in the stores when it's on the speakers.
No,
and
I
you
don't.
know you.
I
as
do
you
not
know
like
you,
it. I
you
don't
know
like
you
it.
have.
Got a little pep in steps.
When Bubba's playing Santa for the
Little
12
eggnog.
working days, he goes. I need you to mix them, Rick.
Make my wish come true. All I want for Christmas is
we're singing. So this is the part he says that the upbeat part.
I'm okay with
it,
I don't see
it,
I don't.
how it sounds really doesn't meet the technical aspect of the law. We've heard that from many musicians
is a little late
over
to
the
the
years.
party on this.
Well, it says that he sued her in June 22 in Louisiana before dropping the claim 5 months later, according to People magazine.
So he's back.
Now he's back.
So he's back, and he's trying California this time.
They didn't. I've heard some of these stories we've done over the years, and there's a lot of similarities, other than the name and the fact that it's a Christmas song.
I mean, it's no Spirit and Led Zeppelin Stairway to Heaven argument.
No, that was a tough one, by the way.
Yeah.
I think they got
Don't
robbed.
forget Kookaburra sits on the old gun.
Well, now they won. Kookaburra won.
Kookaburra took him down, didn't he?
We'll take your phone calls next. We'll be back.
Rick and Bubba.
Okay, I'm not here to nag you about all your diets because I don't always eat healthier either. But I will share this. The Mayo Clinic says if you want to prevent heart disease, lower blood pressure, and cholesterol, eat 5 servings of fruits and vegetables every day. Folks, I don't do that, and you probably don't either. So I use Field of Greens, and I really like it. If you don't always eat right and exercise, join me and take Field of Greens. Get 15% off your first order at fieldofgreens.com with the promo code BUBBA. Fieldofgreens.com, the promo code BUBBA. Are you driving an out-of-warranty car? Why would you do that? It's only a matter of time before your vehicle is in the shop costing thousands. Auto repair costs are up nearly 20% from last year. That's 4 times the rate of inflation. And when you enroll in a protection plan through carshield.com/Bubba, you'll be locking in your price as it will never go up. We appreciate their administrators handling all the paperwork, and we get to choose the mechanic we want. They even offer 24/7 roadside assistance, complimentary towing, and rental car options. Save 20% at carshield.com/Bubba. Our friends at TheraBreath have some good news if you have bad breath. Try TheraBreath Fresh Breath Oral Rinse. TheraBreath is dentist formulated by Dr. Katz himself. TheraBreath doesn't mask bad breath like those burning alcohol mouthwashes that can actually irritate sensitive mouths. It's alcohol-free and free of gluten with no added dyes or colors. Find TheraBreath in all your favorite retail and drug stores. Look for the bright orange cap or online at TheraBreath.com. You can find a direct link at rickandbubba.com under the sponsors. TheraBreath, confidence in every capful.
I was afraid to cut the cord, but once I did, I couldn't believe it took so long to do it. Paying too much for my cable bill had become a bad habit. I either wasn't getting what I wanted or never knew where to find any of my shows until it was too late. Plus, the prices just kept going up. Thankfully, I discovered a new way to watch called Philo. For just $25 a month, I can catch all my favorite shows on networks like BET, MTV, and TLC. It even has Nickelodeon for my kids. And I can watch anytime I want, anywhere I want. Plus, Philo lets me have up to 3 streams at once, so everyone can watch what they want at the same time. Throw in the unlimited DVR that saves all of my favorites for up to a year, and this really is the best deal in TV. I just wish I hadn't waited so long. Sound too good to be true? Well, try it out for yourself, and you'll see why people who love TV love Philo. Go to philo.tv, that's philo.tv, to start your 7-day free trial now.
Hey, did you know Vistaprint prints everything a small business needs? Like if a barbershop needs signage, we print outdoor signs, posters, and banners. Or if a ballet school needs merch, we print tote bags, t-shirts, hoodies, hats. Or if a coffee shop needs a total refresh,
Latte for Mike?
Vistaprint designs logos and prints it on menus, mugs, paper bags, anything. Because with Vistaprint, the printabilities are endless. Print it all with 25% off for new customers with code NEW25 at Vistaprint.com.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because only the Sleep Number Climate 360 smart bed lets you each sleep up to 13 degrees cooler or warmer on either side, while you both sleep at your ideal level of firmness, comfort, and support, your Sleep Number setting. And now our all-new next-gen smart beds have temperature benefits, so you sleep better night after night. And now the new Queen Sleep Number C2 smart bed is only $8.99. Ends Monday. To learn more, go to sleepnumber.com.
Paid for by Christian Care Ministry.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that is MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save many families up to $500 a month, and that is huge. But it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The member satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. double. Medishare works, too. It's been around for 30 years. Members have shared more than $5 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now. You'll get a price within 2 minutes. So see what you can save. This is a very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. Call 855-51-BIBLE. That's 855-51-BIBLE. 855-51-BIBLE.
Why not take care of your holiday shopping now before the crowds and packed calendars make shopping a total nightmare? Especially when Raycon is currently offering 20% off everything on their site with select products up to 50%. So beat the crowds and save now because you don't want to miss out on Raycon's early Black Friday sale. Hurry now to buyraycon.com/Bubba to get 20 to 50% off site-wide. That's buyraycon.com/Bubba. Buyraycon.com/Bubba.
Rick and Bubba, earning a living off low expectations.
We're back 21 minutes past the hour. Much to do on the program today. We mentioned this. Golden ticket seats as they were filing in with them. I know we called for phones. We'll have to delay that. We'll go to that later because walking in with the golden ticket seats, Gary the Bulldozer man.
There he says it's the end of time and the Mississippi River, she's a gold dry.
He's come from the woods, from Chilton County, making his way to the Rick and Bubba studios. And you're gonna get mugged if you go downtown. I mean, you know, I ain't gonna sit there and let y'all talk about my dogs and them sweaters. I mean, I live back in the woods, you see. A woman and little Gwen and me.
He's right there. Got a shotgun, a rifle,
and a four-wheel drive, and Gary boy can survive. Rick, there he is. So, Gary, welcome back to the show, buddy. How you doing?
Ain't that some pretty dogs right there?
I mean, they are pretty.
That one I hold them in my right hand. She sleeps with her tongue out.
You're on the air, Gary.